tutorial for making bread rolls, and this has come through the bag from the Huddle, the bag of crafts and things to do with food and feasting. So we're going to make some very easy bread rolls today. In my bowl I've got 500 grams of white strong flour, that's bread flour. I've got a sachet of yeast, that's the quick action yeast, and a teaspoonful of salt and a teaspoonful of sugar. That's all my dry ingredients. To that, I'm going to add a teaspoonful of oil. I've got sunflower oil, but any vegetable oil is fine, a teaspoonful. And then the liquid I need is 325 millilitres of warm water. And warm water makes the yeast work a bit quicker. That's why we always put warm water in. I might not need quite all of it, so I'm going to go a little bit carefully, not quite put it all in. Start mixing with a spatula. It's a very messy business. And wait till it sort of comes together a little bit into a dough. I think I'm going to need a bit more water than that. Pop a bit more in. And when it starts to come together, you might be able to get your hands in. And you might want to put some flour on your hands and flour on the work surface and eventually get it together. And it feels really nice because it's warm and it's soft and it's squidgy. The nice thing about making bread is it doesn't matter how rough you are with it. It's not like pastry or other things where you've got to be a little bit careful. You can be really rough when you are dealing with bread. And eventually all the bits will come together like that, and I'll be able to tip it out onto my work surface. Now I'm going to knead it for 5 minutes. So there we are. I've been going about 5 minutes and I've got it into quite a nice smooth dough. Looks quite good to me. I'm going to put it back in its bowl and I'm going to cover it up and leave it for about an hour. There we go. Now today it's a really hot day, so I might just leave it here in my kitchen and it will rise no problem. In about an hour. If it wasn't so warm today, I would put it in the airing cupboard or maybe next to a radiator if the heater was on. So in about an hour, we'll come and have a look at it and then we'll make it into our rolls. So after an hour, this is what it looks like, and it's definitely risen up and it's puffy. And if I put my finger in it, it makes a dent. So I'm going to take the dough out now, a little bit more flour, so it'll be a little bit sticky, and bring it out of the bowl onto the work surface, give it a quick mix, and then we're going to make it into 8 bread rolls. So I'm going to use a sharp knife for this. You might need an adult to help you. So if I go in half and then each of those into quarters, I should end up with 8 pieces. Bit of fractions work here. That's quarters and that's eighths. Okay, each of these pieces I'm now going to roll into a little ball. I'll move my tin over. I've just put a little tiny bit of oil on the tin so they don't stick, and I'm going to put the 8 bread rolls on my tin. There we go. Leave a little bit of space because they're going to rise again and probably spread out again. Last one. Doesn't matter, they're not all exactly the same size. There we go. Now, I'm going to cover them up again and leave them in my warm kitchen or in your warm place for about half an hour, and then we'll bake them. So after about half an hour, here they are, and they've swollen up a bit more, they've risen up a bit more, and I'm going to put them in the oven. I've already switched it on, it's 210 degrees. I've got a fan oven, so 210 degrees is right. You might need an adult to help you with this bit. And in they go, and they take about 20 to 25 minutes. So they've been in about 20 minutes and they're looking from the outside as if they're okay. Now this is a very hot moment, so children, you'll definitely need an adult to help you with this. Woo, really hot. And there they are. Now I'm quite pleased with those. They look nice and brown, and I'm not going to touch them because they're too hot to touch, and I'm going to put them onto my cooling tray because that helps them to cool down quickly and stay fresh. So you have 8 lovely bread rolls, and I'm going to share these with my family this afternoon. So I hope you've enjoyed making the easy bread rolls. Have a go, it's really easy.